So listen, let me first just go back to the Tiffany situation. I don't want to spend too much time on it. She got a 6 month suspended sentence. What was so incredibly interesting about that situation is that, both sides made their arguments. The judge said, listen, what I really want to hear about is the fact that this young lady has had a non-compliance with a previous situation. So remember, she's got previous convictions, which, by the way, at the time, there was no conviction recorded because the court was trying to give her every opportunity possible to, okay, you made a poor decision. You claim you have mental health issues. They ordered her, get mental health services, get the care that you need, go to counseling, avail yourself of all of these things that are available to you, do your part. And of course, she didn't do her part. And so the judge was like, she asked both the prosecution and the defense, what do you have to say about her non-compliance? She's had a second chance and she blew it. What do you guys have to say about that? And now, because she blew it, the conviction that wasn't recorded now becomes a recorded conviction. And the judge said, I could even elevate that and make it worse for you, but I'm not going to do that because then she would have definitely gone to jail. You see, so even yesterday, the judge still trying to help out this young lady to give her now a fourth and fifth chance. So she said at the end of the day, she had all kind of excuses about why she didn't go. And, her lawyer took a little break for her to come out of court and to have a discussion with him. And, he basically came back and said, her explanation was she was trying talk therapy because some Dr. McGill, I don't know who Dr. McGill is. I'm thinking he must be a mental health. I don't know if he's a psychiatrist, psychologist, whatever, had said that you need to be on medication. It sounds like she's bipolar. Nobody really said those words, but based on my observations from the behavior, it sounds like she suffers from these manic episodes, and she's probably bipolar. And the professionals have said you need to be on medication to control this. And of course, she's trying to self-diagnose, which happens a lot with people who are suffering with any sort of mental health, issues. She's trying to self-diagnose, and she's going to pretend to be the doctor. And no, I want to use talk therapy. So she had her lawyer come back and said, she was trying talk therapy. You are not the professional, folks. When you have issues and your issues are interfering with your life, and it's not just interfering with your life, but it's causing physical harm to other people. It's bad enough if you got psychological, emotional harm, but when it's actually physical assault and property damage, you're beating up police officers, you're doing all of this stuff. So somebody says that Dr. Gill is a consultant psychiatrist and chief of psychiatry at the HSA. Dr. McGill, is it McGill? McGill said, you need to be on medication. And she refused to do so. And she's going to do talk therapy. She's going to have an online counseling session with somebody, God knows where. Clearly that didn't work out for you, honey child. Listen to the professionals, okay? So, but the magistrate went as far as she contacted the hospital and getting all these reports and whatever herself. And she said, listen, you had appointments made for you and then you wouldn't show up. It's the same thing that Michael was just saying. Cayman's not showing up. We're not doing our part. And then we want to, when it's convenient to us, we want to use that crutch of, I've got financial problems, but you didn't show up and do. I've got employment problems on job, but you didn't show up and do. I've got mental health, but you didn't show up. You have got to show up and do your part. And nobody can be held responsible for that, folks, when you are an adult, right? So, get it together. I hope that this has been a rude awakening for Tiffany. Of course, her lawyer spent an exorbitant amount of time talking about, all the negative press that she's gotten. And, as though he wanted, I'm not sure why he was saying this to the magistrate, as though he wanted the magistrate to say, okay, I'm going to issue this sentence and then you guys can't talk about it in the community. I wasn't quite sure if that was the end game, but the magistrate was like, this comes with the territory. When you're in the public eye, you put yourself out there. She purposely ran months after knowing that she had just assaulted someone and had been arrested for it. That's all on her. Of course, you're going to get a lot of attention. You are holding a title of a Miss Cayman in this country. You brought down the entire pageant, as far as I'm concerned, you and the committee, and their poor decisions. And so it's like, what? You're expecting that nobody's going to talk about you and nobody's going to talk about it. And oh, she's gotten more scrutiny than people who've committed far worse crimes. Well, that may be the case, but the point is, when you're a public individual, just like we're going to talk about politicians here in a second, once you put yourself in a particular position, you can expect the additional scrutiny. You're only 25 years old. Let that be a life lesson for you, right? So you want to be in the public eye when you think you're doing something great and you're parading around in your super high heels and your weave and this and that. Fantastic. But if your behavior starts to go downhill and you're arrested, you're charged, you're dragged through court, yes, you're going to get the same amount of energy and attention than when we had you up on a pedestal with a crown on your head. It's just life. Trust me. So it is what it is. She got a 6-month suspended sentence for 2 years. So what that means is if she does anything in the next 2 years that puts her before the court, that 6 months she will go to prison for. So she got like 3 months for the assault on the man, 6 months for the criminal damage, for the assault in the whole situation at the detention center. She got a community order. So now she's been ordered to do certain things. She has to subject to drug testing. And I was kind of interested in why the judge decided to do that, but we're not going to dig too deep in that. Maybe she knows something and she's thinking maybe this erratic behavior is something else. I don't know. So she has to subject herself to drug testing. She has to pay back over $2,000 for the damage to the multiple vehicles. And she's got a year to pay that back. If she doesn't pay that back, then she'll go to jail for 3 months for noncompliance in that compensation order. She also has to get mental health care. She needs to now make her appointments and keep them with the psychiatrist. So, you know, she's got all these things that she's got to do. And the judge has said, these are not do it if you feel like it. This is an order, just like the first one, from the court. And I want you to understand it is a condition of your sentencing here today. So you have got to get these things done. Okay. She claims that she doesn't work. She only has her little jewelry making business. So the poor mother had to go out and speak to the lawyer. How much can you pay a month? She agreed that she could pay a couple $100 a month. Now, this is a burden to the mother, but hey, the mother's riding with her in the most spectacular kind of way. So, you know, when we have kids and we don't want to hold them responsible, then we pick up the slack for their behavior. So the mother will be forking out, you know, at least $200 a month to repay this compensation order. The thing that shocks me is this is now a couple of years after the fact. You know, she could have paid this off already. If she was actually a principled individual, even though she had this fight and she was arrested, whatever, she could have started paying towards the damages that she had caused already. She could have done that on her own. And that certainly would have sent a message to the court that this is someone who actually was truly sorry for her actions. She's demonstrated zero remorse. The court told her, don't talk about these people. She went and did a post and actually tagged and exposed who the victim was. Now, it's interesting to note that the ex-boyfriend never really cooperated with the police. He never, did the report. He's also very young, and I guess he's probably scared to death of her as well. The father was the one who, at probably 50-something years old, had the courage to go through with this and, testify and so on. So the assault was really against the father, although she also assaulted the son because he didn't provide any statements. He didn't really cooperate with the police or the prosecution. His case wasn't really what was before the court, right? So I thought that was kind of interesting. So it is what it is. Most people don't feel like she got it anywhere near the sentence that she should have gotten. Most people believe that, she should have gone to jail. I say that the court has given her yet another chance, and we will certainly see what she does with this opportunity. Tiffany, we can only, send you the best wishes, and it is what it is. Good luck to you. All right. So, okay. So let me just read some comments. First Lady says, Miss Sandy, you are the best thing that have ever happened to these islands. Oh, Lord Jesus. I'm not so sure that's the case. Oh, we're going to talk about some of these politicians trying to come at me yesterday, honey child. They had me cracking up. I must tell you. They think they can hurt my feelings. Poor them. Good morning to First Lady. Jennifer says she'll do it again for sure. Talk therapy or what kind of therapy? We'll see. Yeah, I mean, we're wishing her luck, but the uh, SIR, which is the oh God, I always forget what SIR stands for as much as I use it. The something impact report. Oh Lord have mercy. Anyway, the SIR, which is a report that you have to go and get. You talk to probation people, and they do a whole interview with you and your friends and whatever. Oh God, what is SIR? Oh, it's going to bother me now, but it'll come to me. So they actually said, to your point, Jennifer, they actually said that she is at a medium risk of reoffending. Social inquiry report. Thank you. I always forget what SIR stands for. So her social inquiry report, she has to do an interview, and they interview people, and they do a professional assessment. They actually said that she is at a medium risk of reoffending and at a high risk of reoffending if she doesn't get help. And that did not miss me. So in other words, to your point, Jennifer, she will definitely do it again if she doesn't get on medication, if she doesn't get psychological help and stick with it. That's high risk. And high risk means you're behind and be going to jail no matter how pretty you are. You can sit in heels in the prison cell and have those people up in there braid your hair, but you're behind and be in jail. Medium to high risk is not a good thing. Most offenders who do not go to jail are at a low risk. So the fact that, recidivism, we're likely to be here again, seems to be very, very, very high for Tiffany. And I think that that's unfortunate because she has demonstrated through her actions, and there was a lot of stuff that would not have been before the court that we are aware of, including her assaulting her own family members, and they do nothing about it. And that only, in my opinion, allows her to continue this behavior. So I think her mommy, honey child, you got to put your foot down with this child. If you really want to help her, you've got to show her a degree of tough love. What you're showing her will only enable her more. That's it. I ain't got nothing more to say about Tiffany. I'm just glad that it's over. And I'm sorry that the victims had